Welcome all to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for 24th August 23. Starting with the editorial section, what are the amendments to the Pakistan Army Act from the Hindu? Then we will be covering the news update, which includes the national news, international news, important days, awards and sports, followed by the legal news update of the day. Now, we will talk about the editorial section. What are the amendments to the Pakistan Army Act? Now, at what context we are talking with you on this? On July 27th, the Pakistan Senate passed a bill to amend the Pakistan Army Act 1952. Now, if there are some amendments, we need to see what are the new amendments that are come up. The bill has expanded Army Act by inserting clauses IA in Section 8 of the Act. With these things, the Act will include civilians working in entities affiliated with or controlled by Pakistan Army like Fauji Foundation, Army Welfare Trust, Fauji Urea, Fauji Cement, etc. Two sections, section number 26A and 26B, are added in the Act, and section number 26A on unauthorized disclosure states that if any person who is or has been subject to this Act discloses or causes to be disclosed information which is acquired in official capacity and is or may be prejudicial to security and interest of Pakistan or of its armed forces shall be guilty of an offence and on conviction under Act be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term extendable to 5 years. Now, Section 26B prohibits a person who has been subjected to this Act from participating in any kind of political activity for 2 years from the date of his retirement, release, resignation, discharge, removal, or dismissal from the service. Another notable amendment is in section number 55. Now, section number 55A bars the subject of this Act from getting in any form of engagement, consultation, or employment directly or indirectly with any entity that might have a conflict of interest with the armed forces of Pakistan and its affiliated entities. Further, section 55B outlines the punishment applicable to individuals who, whether currently or previously subjected to this legislation, undermine, ridicule, or scandalize armed forces. Now, these are some prominent sections that are come up in the Pakistan Army Act that has came on July 27. Now, why is this amendment made now? That's a very significant question here. Addition of clause 26A seen in light of the May 9th incident, wherein the supporters of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the party of former Pakistan PM Imran Khan, attacked army installations across the country. The information regarding the installation was leaked from within the army. Part 2 of the section is being seen as designed explicitly for Lieutenant General retired Faiz Hamid, former DG of Inter-Services Intelligence. General Faiz has been the biggest supporter of Imran Khan while he was in power, and after his ouster from power, he is seen as Mr. Khan's predominant advisor. Mr. Khan had planned to formally bring into PTI's fold to rebuild the party, but now this amendment has dashed his plan. The amendments are specifically designed to intimidate the veterans who have been supporting the former Pakistan PM by expressing their views on social media and public platforms. The changes proposed in the bill are not just about strengthening the power of the army chief and dissuading critics. Now? Why is this amendment coming up? By adding section 175C, which relates to welfare and rehabilitation, section 175D, which relates to welfare to affiliated entities, And 176E, National Development. Pakistan Army has formalized its intervention in the country's functioning in the name of rehabilitating serving, retired or wounded personnel and families of martyrs, as well as in national development and advancement of strategic interests. Now we understood what were the legal provisions that are come up, why, what was the purpose of this amendment. Now, when we talk about the implementation of this particular amendment, what would be the future implications of it? The manner in which the bill was passed has exposed the government docile behavior towards the army. The bill was taken up in the morning without adhering to a 2 day notice, which was flagged by only two senators. A section of journalists and human rights advocates have expressed concerns as this amendment would jeopardize the rights and liberties of individuals as well as impose restrictions on the dissemination of information. With the implementation of such draconian laws, the authority would end up with the absolute power to target anybody. Now, the national news of the day. Khelo India Women's League, to be known as Asmita Women's League. The Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Anurag Singh Thakur, has announced that the Khelo India Women's League will officially be known as Asmita Women's League. Asmita refers to achieving sports milestones by inspiring women through action. The Asmita portal serves as a comprehensive source offering valuable insights into upcoming leagues among other features. It will enable any school, college, government, or in fact private organization to host the Asmita Women League and to be a part of Khelo India's march towards supporting excellence. Now, let us talk about what is Khelo India. Khelo India was proposed by the Government of India in 2017 to revive India's sporting culture by engaging with children at the grassroots level. Under this movement, the Khelo India Youth Games, the Khelo India University Games, and the Khelo India Winter Games were set up as an annual national sports competition. A few big names to compete in this event include ace sprinter Dute Chand and archers Karth Salunke and Komali Kabari. Khelo India Youth Games 2023, the fifth edition of the flagship event under the Indian government Khelo India initiative, concluded on Feb 11, 2023. A total of 11 venues spread across 8 cities in Madhya Pradesh and New Delhi hosted the different Khelo India Youth Games 2023 events. Maharashtra won the Khelo India Youth Games 23 title after topping the medal tally with 56 gold medals, 55 silver, 50 bronze. Last edition champion Haryana finished second with 41 gold, 32 silver, and 55 bronze. Now, the next news, cricket legend and Bharat Ratna awardee Sachin Tendulkar to bat for greater voter turnout as national icon for Election Commission of India. The cricket legend and Bharat Ratna awardee Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar began a new innings as the national icon for voter awareness and education for the Election Commission of India. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed for a period of 3 years at an event organized at Akashvani Rang Bhavan, New Delhi, in the presence of Chief Election Commissioner Sri Rajiv Kumar and Election Commissioners Sri Anup Chandra Pandey and Sri Arun Goyal. This collaboration marks a significant step towards leveraging Tendulkar's unparalleled impact with the youth demographic for increasing voters' participation in the forthcoming elections, especially in general elections 2024. The Election Commission of India, through this partnership, aims to bridge the gap between citizens, especially youth and urban populations, and the electoral process, thereby trying to address the challenges of urban and youth apathy. Now, when we are talking about the Election Commission of India here, let us know about what is Election Commission of India. The Commission is an autonomous constitutional authority responsible for administering union and state election process in India. It administers elections to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies in India, and offices of the President and VP in the country. The Constitution of India has vested in the Commission the superintendence, direction, and the control of the entire process for conduct of elections to Parliament and legislature of every state and to the offices of President and Vice President of India. It is a permanent constitutional body and has established in accordance with the Constitution on 21st January 1950. Now, Mizoram became first state to launch ABDM Microsite in Aizawl. The National Health Authority announced that Aizawl, the capital city of Mizoram, has become the first state in India to operationalize Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission Microsite project. Last month, the National Health Authority announced 100 microsite projects for accelerated adoption of digital health mission schemes across the country. The microsites are defined geographical regions where focused outreach efforts would be made to onboard small and medium-scale private healthcare providers. The concept of microsites was envisaged to provide a strong impetus to healthcare digitalization efforts across the country. Patients will be able to link the health records generated at this facility with their Ayushman Bharat health account and will be able to view and share this record using any Ayushman Bharat digital mission enabled personal health record application on their phones. The National Health Authority had previously overseen microsite pilots in Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Surat. Besides Mizoram, other states including Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh have also made a significant progress regarding the implementation of Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission Microsite. Now, what about the mission? With the objective of strengthening the accessibility and equity of health services, the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission was launched on 27 September 2021. Now, coming up to the next news, Malabar naval exercise concludes of Australian coast. The 27th edition of the naval exercise Malabar concluded off Sydney on Australia's east coast on Monday. Ships, submarines and aircraft from Indian Navy, Royal Australian Navy, Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force and the US Navy participate in the exercise. The 11-day-long naval exercise was conducted in two phases, which included a harbor phase from August 11 to 15 and a sea phase from August 16 to 21. The Indian Navy was represented by the indigenously built destroyer INS Kolkata, frigate INS Sahadri, and C-8I maritime patrol aircraft. Other participating units include rank ships HMS Trolls and HMS Brisbane, USS Rafael Paralata, GS Hiranui, along with submarines, fighter aircraft, maritime patrol aircraft, and ship-borne helicopters. The sea phase of Malabar witnessed complex and high-intensity exercises in air surface and undersea domains, weapon firing, and cross-deck helicopter operations. The joint exercises at second on war fighting skills and enhance interoperability between the four navies to undertake advanced maritime operations. Now, the next news of the day, Srinagar Tulip Garden enters record book with 1.5 million blooming flowers. Nestled amidst the picturesque foothills of the Rabarban Range, the Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden, with a collection of 68 distinctive tulip varieties, has its name in the World Book of Records as Asia's largest and most spectacular part of its kind. The garden, adorned with an enchanting variety of 1.5 million blooming flowers, stands as a living testament to the beauty and diversity of nature. The World Book President and the CEO, Santosh Shukla, bestowed the esteemed certification upon Prayas Sheikh, the Secretary of Horticulture, Gardens and Parks. In 2006, former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad conceptualized a heaven of natural beauty that would showcase the vibrant and diverse flora of this region. Beside a scenic display of tulips, the garden formerly known as Siraj Bagh has other spring flowers such as henices, daffodils, muscari, and calamines. According to the Srinagar tourism, the park was opened in 2007 with the aim of boosting floriculture and tourism in the Kashmir Valley. It is built on sloping ground in a terrace fashion consisting of seven terraces. Now, the important news, National Curriculum Framework proposes board exam twice a year. The National Curriculum Framework for School Education, which is developed on the vision of National Education Policy 2020, was announced by the Union Minister of Education, Dharmendra Pradhan, on Wednesday. Board exams will be offered at least twice a year to ensure students have enough time and opportunity to perform well. Students can then appear for a board exam in subjects they have completed and feel ready for. They will also be allowed to retain the best score. For board papers, test developers and evaluators will have to go through university certified courses before taking up this task. Students in classes 9th and 10th will need to learn three languages, of which at least two will be a native to India. In 11th and 12th class, students will learn two languages, including one of the Indian origin. So far, the students from class 9th to 12th studied five mandatory subjects with an option of adding one more subject. Now, the number of mandatory subjects for classes 9th and 10th is 7 and it's 6 for 11th and 12th. Optional subjects have been grouped in three parts in the NCF. The first optional group includes art education, emphasis on both visual and performing arts, with equal emphasis on making, thinking about, and appreciating artwork. It also includes physical education, vocational education. The second group includes social science, humanities, interdisciplinary areas, and the third group includes science, math, and computational thinking. The NCF, that is National Curriculum Framework, has recommended that in the long term, all boards should change to semester or term-based exams, where students can be tested in a subject as soon as they have completed the subject, which would reduce the content load being tested in any one examination. For classes 6 to 8, the NCF states that 20% content would be from local level of the for the social science curriculum, 30% content would be from the regional level, and 30% would be from the national level, and 20% content would be global. There is no hard and fast separation between academic and vocational subjects or between science, social science, art, physical education. Students can choose interesting combination of subjects for receiving their school leaving certificate. Now, coming up to the next national news, India's first hydrogen bus hit the public roads in Leh Ladakh. In a first state-run power generator, National Thermal Power Corporation has started a 3-month-long trial run for hydrogen-fired buses in Leh as a part of its efforts towards achieving a carbon-neutral Ladakh. The country's largest power generator is setting up a hydrogen fueling station, solar plant, and providing 5 fuel cell buses for operation on intra-city routes in Leh. This project would be the first deployment of fuel cell electric vehicles for public use in India. NTPC has been aggressively pushing for greening its portfolio, and the green hydrogen project is another step towards achieving a low carbon footprint. NTPC, that is National Thermal Power Corporation, has also been promoting usage of green hydrogen based solution in sectors like mobility, energy, chemical, fertilizer, steel, etc. Now, what about National Thermal Power Corporation? is an Indian central public sector undertaking under the ownership of Ministry of Power and Government of India. The headquarters of the PSU are situated at New Delhi, and Gurdeep Singh is the chairman and managing director of NTPC Limited since 2015. Now, the international news. International Day for Remembrance of Slave Trade and its Abolition. The International Day for the Remembrance of Slave Trade and its Abolition is observed every year on August 23rd to commemorate the uprising in 1791 against the slave trade. Now, let us understand the background of it. In commemorate the day when an uprising began in Saint Domingue, called now called Haiti, on August 23rd, 1791, against the slave trade. Haiti was a French settlement and a center of slave trade across Europe. The uprising led to a revolution against the rulers of the country. Now, the day of the uprising was commemorated for the first time in 1998. It was designated by UNESCO and was also observed in Senegal in 1999. The slave trade was rampant in Europe those days, and people from Africa and Asia were traded. Slaves were transported to the colonial settlements of Haiti, the Caribbean islands, and other parts of the world. The international slave trade was abolished on March 25th, 1807. Now, what is the UNESCO initiative on this? UNESCO observed this day to remind the people to continue to analyze and criticize such practices that may transform into modern forms of slavery and exploitation. The day is observed to remember and honor those who were dehumanized under the cruel system. UNESCO launched a project called the Slave Route to collectively remember the situation, causes, methods, and consequences of the slave trade. It also sets the stage for analysis and study of human trafficking and the slave trade in Asia, Africa, America, and the Caribbean islands. The next international news, Cincinnati Open, Novak Djokovic wins title by beating Carlos Alcaraz. Now, Novak Djokovic overcame a match point and stifling heat to beat world number one Carlos Alcaraz and win the Cincinnati Open 2023. The win delivered Djokovic his 95th career title and 39th Masters 1000 crown. The Spaniard is currently ranked at number one in ATP Tour ranking, with Djokovic ranked just behind him at number two. Djokovic is the only player in tennis history to be reigning champion of all four majors at once across all three different services. The Cincinnati Masters or Cincinnati Open is an annual outdoor hardcore tennis event held in Macon, Ohio, a suburb of Cincinnati. The event started on September 18, 1899 and is the oldest tennis tournament in the United States that is still played in its original city. Now, there's few information about the Carlos Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz is a 19-year-old tennis player from Spain who became the new world number one on September 12. He won his first Grand Slam title at the US Open in 2022. Alcaraz also became the youngest player to claim the number one spot in ATP rankings after a triumphant run at the US Open Championship. Iran developed advanced Mohijer drone with enhanced range. Iran has built an advanced homemade drone named Mohijer 10 with an enhanced flight range and duration as well as greater payload. The new drone has an operational range of 2000 kilometers and can fly for up to 24 hours. Its payload can be 300 kg, double the capacity of the Mohijer 6 drone. Notably, the drone's flight endurance has been significantly enhanced, enabling it to remain airborne for up to 24 hours without interruption. Now, a few information about Iran. The capital of Iran is Tehran. The currency of Iran is Rial, and Iran president is Mr. Ibrahim Raisi. Now, the legal update of the day. Once appointment is declared illegal and void ab initio, one cannot legally continue in service and claim salary by the Honorable Supreme Court in Srimati Dulu Dekha versus State of Assam. In a case pertaining to an assistant teacher claiming the release of her unpaid salary from 2001 onwards, the Supreme Court has held that once the appointment has been declared illegal and void ab initio by the Director of Elementary Education in Assam in 2001, continuing in service becomes untenable in the absence of challenge to the cancellation order. The court held that the failure to contest the cancellation order bars the appellant from claiming a legal right to continue in service and consequent salary claims. The bench, comprising Justice Hima Kohli and Rajesh Bindal, was hearing an appeal against a judgment of the Guwahati High Court, which dismissed the claim of the appellant for release of unpaid salary from 2001 onward as an assistant teacher in Assam. The Supreme Court expressed skepticism about the plausibility of an individual working for an extended period, nearly 2 decades, without receiving any salary. Now, the next legal update of the day: husband, girlfriend, or woman who has sexual relations with him outside marriage cannot be prosecuted under section number 498A IPC by the Honorable Kerala High Court in Sandhini PK versus State of Kerala. The Honorable Kerala High Court recently held that the term relative appearing in section 498 of the IPC would not include husband, girlfriend, or a woman with whom a man has sexual relationship outside the marriage. 498 AIPC defines and provides punishment for cruelty committed by the husband or relative of the husband of a woman. Justice K. Babu added that Section 498A, being a penal provision, has to be construed strictly. Now, what is the court's verdict on this particular matter? The specific language of the section and the explanation therefore lead to the conclusion that the word relative would not include a woman with whom a man has had sexual relations outside of the marriage. By no stretch of imagination, a girlfriend or even a woman who maintains sexual relations with a man outside of marriage is the etymological sense would be a relative. The word relative brings within its purview a status. Such status must be confirmed either by blood or marriage or adoption. If no marriage has taken place, the question of one being relative of another would not arise. Section 498 IPC, being a penal provision, would preserve strict construction, and unless a contextual meaning is required to be given to the statute, the said statute has to be construed strictly. Now, congratulations, Priyanka Bharti. She has given all the correct answers of the yesterday TNA questions and these were the questions. So well done. Keep posting your correct answers in the comments and we'll keep appreciating you. Thank you so much. Do subscribe, keep learning. Thank you for watching.